Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was Vincent Van Gogh. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page, our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page, as well as directly on the video on Bun.
You know, I thought it was a really great way to wrap up the season.
Certainly great that we have a glowing review of the season finale from one of the people in the show.
I gotta tell you, I'm getting really into the thumbs up lately.
Thumb war?
Yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare thumb war.
You know what, fine. I'm just gonna, because
see that?
I want the questions to go, I want the questions to start, so I conceded the victory.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
This is from IMAS Pastashock. That pronunciation kills me. It isn't Van Gogh, it's pronounced like Gochk, cries an art historian, he writes at the bottom in bold. We actually have a clip of this that we cut out of the episode.
We did cut this out of the episode. Let's fire that up.
And we're going with Van Gogh on this.
We're going with Van Gogh. I know all you art nerds out there are like, it's actually Van Gogh or Goff or whatever.
It's pronounced Van Gogh.
I think if I were to pronounce that properly, it would take an enormous amount of effort and it would come off as me being pretentious. We've all had that friend who went to Europe for 1 week and he comes back and now he's overpronouncing every single last piece of culture to show you how cultured he now is. I don't want to be that guy.
Mozzarella. You know, a lot of that.
I can acknowledge that the correct Dutch pronunciation does sound like that. So that is the correct way to pronounce it. I will say that if I were to do that, I would feel like a phony.
Okay, let's go to Grab Tab.
All right.
Here's from It's Just Macy. Question for Postmortem. How does your editing team determine whether or not a person's face is shown during the episode? Love you guys. Hashtag Shane is the best. Well, hashtag sorry, Ryan. Oh. It comes down to really
Rights.
rights.
If we don't have the rights to show the face, we don't.
Oh, it sounded like you were gonna do a cool rhyme there. If we don't got rights to show the face.
It ain't going in the digital space.
Oh, that landed okay.
Let's go to Facebook. Lou Rivas says, maybe Vincent confided in Gaston and asked for his help in dying. So Gaston borrowed Renee's gun, but couldn't finish the job because he cared about Vincent too much to kill him. Because the words, "I wounded myself," seemed to suggest that he wanted to get shot and even expected it. Just a thought I had while watching the video. Love you guys, and please bring back ruining history, hashtag Shaniac, hashtag Ryan is cool too, hashtag I missed the hot dogga. That makes one of us. Because Vincent Van Gogh, they asked him, did you kill yourself? And he said, I think so.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you know.
that's why I saw a lot of the assisted suicide being brought up. Well, technically he didn't because someone else pulled the trigger, but he carried out the
so
order.
that's him doing the mental math just to be
the mental
I
gymnastics.
guess this all comes back to me in the end.
That's the idea being he didn't have it in him to carry it out himself.
Sure.
So he asked Gaston, which obviously I think that puts a sadder spin on him covering for the boys. Also, I saw people correcting me saying that Vincent Van Gogh did not cut off his own ear. His roommate did because his roommate was a high-level fencer and cut it off with his rapier.
I vaguely remember the details of that being that he also did not want the person to get in trouble for cutting his ear off, so he said he did it himself, which would scan with the theory that he was covering for the people who killed him.
Yet another eerie occurrence.
What is going on? What was that?
This comes from Xander Quinn.
Whoa, cool name.
Yeah.
Is it with an X?
It's with an X and 2 N's.
Whoa.
Xander.
Xander. Wait a minute, my middle name is Alexander. Could I go by Xander?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Postmortem. One theory for Van Gogh's famous shift to yellow was that he was taking digitalis for his seizures, known to cause blue-yellow vision. I'm all for the narrative that the best of his art came from healing instead of misery.
Lovely.
That's not a question, just a beautiful
Just
sentiment.
a nice sentiment. Look, you don't have to be happy to make art. You don't have to be sad to make art. You just have to be yourself.
Yeah, I just saw a lot of you riding the wave of you don't need to have a mental illness to create profound art. It's like romanticizing that in a way that's not very healthy.
Good art can come from anyone in any state.
And this is proof of that. His art came from recovery, not from the worst parts of it.
This is from Alt Ernative. For postmortem, good bits in this one, guys, good bits. Just wondering, and I know that it's not exactly related
This
to
Mark
the case.
Celestino.
I know. But what are your guys' favorite Vincent Van Gogh paintings? He's got the big Starry Night. That's a classic.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest art guy in terms of knowledge of it. I love art.
Look at this one. Just a skeleton smoking a cigarette. That's metal as hell.
That is pretty metal. You know what also was metal? The Potato Eaters.
A big fan of the
I
Potato
didn't know
Eaters.
that was the name of that.
Yeah,
I just looked it up. That picture is always so weirdly dark.
it is. He has that one, and he has another one of like a woman sewing by a window.
It's a total contrast to all the other paintings he has, where it's like this almost, not realistic, but like in the sense of like realistically painting what the world actually looks like. This comes from Alex Henderson. BuzzFeed Unsolved Network, my hashtag postmortem question. If it was an accident, why wouldn't Vincent be looking for a hospital? He could still protect the boys and say he accidentally did it. After all, he was able to walk all the way back home and linger for hours. It seems like a lot to actually die to cover for them when he had hours to seek treatment, if it was truly unexpected. Love y'all, hope you see this. Hashtag Bugara at heart, hashtag with a hint of Shaniac, hashtag I've connected the dots. Of course, referencing that one episode.
Yes, that thing.
Where you didn't connect shit.
I could see him being the kind of person who doesn't want to make a fuss and is like, I'll just go to bed and maybe I'll get better.
I do think I would draw the line at maybe I'll find a hospital instead of bleeding out.
Yeah. I mean,
Because-
what were hospitals like at this point, though? I don't know how rural his.
It was a
his own-
small village.
Yeah.
But this is a good point, and I hate it because it does kind of throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into that theory that he was covering for the boys, which is a beautiful sentiment. It does make me question, why didn't he try to save himself? Unless he for sure knew he was dead?
Also, like, he could have just been a little bit out of it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Blood loss and all.
Blood loss makes you go cuckoo. You know what? It wouldn't be a postmortem this season without our old pal. Free range grass. Free range grass says, I truly believe this great man's life ended at his own hands. However, truth should prevail. I have planned for the grass to teleport me to this infamous wheat field in 1890. I will confront these young boys and interrogate them. I will then turn all of 19th century Europe into free range grass disciples. I likely will not return. This may be my last correspondence. God bless America, and God bless BuzzFeed Unsolved. Well, free range grass, it's been a delight having you with us all season. If this is your final transmission, Godspeed. And I hope you can do whatever you gotta do over there.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, man. Always good to hear from you. You kept them short as the season went on. I appreciate that. Something that somebody in this room knows nothing about, brevity. And yeah.
All right, does that do it for our questions?
I was talking about you.
Roastmortem time! Roastmortem!
All right, here we go. Roastmortem.
Let's do
it. This
it!
comes from YouTube. This comes from Tigran
Yeah!
Abgurhan. For Roastmortem, roses are red, and so was the parrot, which Shane one day mistook for a carrot.
Ha ha ha! I didn't eat my parrot!
You did! You ate it! You gobbled it up!
I buried him in the
That was
yard!
a delicious parrot!
He's dead as hell.
In your belly.
Over to Grantown, Sam Steele 86. Why was Shane cosplaying as my granddad? It's nice to see all his clothes went to a good home when he died. Hashtag Roastmortem, hashtag Bugara. Sorry about your granddad!
Also kind of weak. Sarcastic Scorpio. Why does Ryan look like if Elvis and a peacock had a child?
Oh shit, you got him. You got him on that one, I guess.
That was weak.
And one last one to close us out from Facebook, I think, or YouTube. Hashtag Roastmortem. This is from Big Bad Wolf. Both of your foreheads are so big you can watch Avengers Endgame on IMAX on them.
You think so?
real
Look at
Fucking
that.
funny.
You know what? If that's a roast, it's the best one because I want to live in that reality. I want to look in the mirror every morning, brush my
All right,
teeth,
man, all right.
and
no,
then
no,
see.
no, this is too much energy here. What are you doing? You want to see?
Is this too much energy? What are you
No,
talking
you're
about?
doing, it's creeping me out a little bit.
Huh?
You just narrow your eyes a little bit. They're too wide. Okay, that's better. I don't know if that's better.
Is that better?
Oh.
All jokes aside, I really liked this episode. I liked the message of it. It was heartwarming. Good way to end the season. Thank you all for coming along the ride. You know, I'm proud of what we did this season.
Thanks for being our friends, and we love you.
That does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. And that's it. That's the finale for Postmortem for the season. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting. You helped us trend in the end. That rhymed unintentionally. I guess we'll see you next time when we're killing ghouls.
Oh, gotta get some new boots.
I did promise earlier that I am gonna catch a ghost in a net, and I said I was gonna name it Jimmy?
Clifford?
No, I think it was Jimmy.